TBTL.
Hello there and welcome to another edition of Hey Dummies. This is the newsletter video where we, the Dummies, try to answer your questions. This is Hawaii edition. Pretty nice, right? I'm wearing these Ray-Ban sunglasses as part of a new sort of, I don't know, fashion initiative. Now that David Lynch is gone, RIP, I feel like somebody needs to step it up and just only be wearing Ray-Bans at all times when you're doing interviews, when you're being filmed, when you're being photographed. So now that he's gone, I feel like I'm going to take up the mantle for that. So here we are. Also, this shirt is from J. Crew and is one I bought multiples of before we went to Europe, and I think it might have been the best decision of my life because I wore this shirt all last night and to dinner and everything else, and then I put it on this morning and it smelled fresh as a spring daisy. So turns out that was a pretty good call. I didn't need 5 of them though. 1 would suffice. So that's the lesson I learned. Why am I talking about fashion here on this newsletter video? Well, because this week's question from Judy is kind of about fashion. Judy asks, what outfit do you remember from your childhood? Did you have a favorite? And was there a tonight pants or white collar blue blazer route? That's a reference to the fact that Andrew likes to wear his, what he calls tonight pants, and that I am often now, if I'm doing anything for job stuff, I'm often wearing a white Oxford shirt with some kind of a blue blazer over it. I was very, very interested in clothing as a child when I was growing up. Judy, not necessarily good stuff, in fact, mostly bad stuff, but I have some pretty vivid memories around it. I remember the first shirt that I ever really liked. It was like, imagine like a pullover hoodie, but with cut off sleeves. So that was in style in maybe when I got this sweatshirt, which must have been in 1984. Why would I know that? Because it said USA 84 on the hoodie. And it was not my hoodie. It was my friend Aaron's. And he stayed over one time. And I coveted, to use a biblical term, I coveted this sleeveless hoodie that said USA 84. And when the next day when he got up to leave, I hid it from him. He could not find it. He was like, God, I swear I had that sweatshirt. It's probably his favorite sweatshirt too. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then I wore it constantly, but I could never wear it to school or in a situation where I thought Aaron might be there. And I feel bad about that to this day. So that was one memorable outfit, or at least shirt. I've talked a lot about my thrifting era, which was really most of my middle school and high school. I was always getting stuff from thrift shops, but then lying about it. Boy, lying in fashion seems to be a trend for me. I also stole these glasses. I'm just kidding. I would get a lot of stuff at thrift stores, but then I would try to say it wasn't from a thrift store because I was embarrassed. One of those things, though, that I couldn't lie about was a t-shirt from Chico's Pizza in Seaview, Washington that said 7 days without pizza make 1 week. I wore that shirt proudly and often for probably most of my sophomore and junior year. And I was really into it. I don't know if that's really an outfit per se. The thing, Judy, that was going on for me when I was younger was I was always trying to jump onto whatever seemed like a fashion trend, and then embracing it, and then seeing pictures of it years later and thinking I look kind of silly. And so what that was in a weird way was preparing me for white Oxford shirt, blue collar, blue blazer life, which is, I mentioned that I have 5 of these shirts. I mentioned that now I'm wearing Ray-Bans as a latter-day David Lynch type character. I am very much moved into just getting things that are pretty understated, that are not overly fashionable, but maybe not totally out of fashion, getting multiples of them, and then just sticking with it so that I don't make mistakes. So I don't, as Andrew likes to say, get out over my skis. So even though as a young person I wasn't wearing a white Oxford shirt and a blue blazer over it, or one of my many uniforms that I sort of put together, what I was doing was I was doing everything wrong, and I was learning that I was going to be much happier in my adottage, as I now am, to just have some pretty basic, pretty standard things that I like, that I think are relatively flattering, so I don't have to kind of reinvent the wheel each and every morning. There are certainly people out there who dress flamboyantly all through their life, and they look great, and it's impressive. I'm thinking of like Daniel Craig, the actor right now, who does a lot of like high fashion shoots, and they put him in just ridiculous looking outfits, but he can pull it off because he's Daniel Craig. I mean, there are people that it works for. I am not one of them. So I'm trying to just kind of standardize and routinize everything, and then just I'm trying to not make it harder on myself to look semi-presentable. So anyway, Judy, that's my rambling answer to your question. Thank you so much for emailing us. Hey, if you've got a question for us, the Dummies, please hit us up. We can always use more questions. Email Andrew at tbtl.net and put "Hey Dummies" in the subject line, and we will get your question answered. All right. Thank you for listening. We will be broadcasting from the Madrona Hill studio bright and early on Monday morning, so we'll see you then. In the meantime, thanks for being part of TBTL. Aloha.